Welcome to another exciting All In Employee podcast. It's a brand new season here at CA Short, and I'm very excited to introduce and announce the new host of the podcast. I am going to be turning over the reins to the most fabulous Cheri Lucas, who is here with me right now. Cheri has joined the team at CA Short. She's an account director here now. She was actually a guest on the podcast many, many moons ago, right back, I believe, in our first season. And now she's joined CA Short. I'm so excited to have you here, Cheri. You're actually on my team. You're part of the team as a whole, and you have a wealth of knowledge and experience you're going to bring to the podcast because you've done this for years.
God, I'm so excited to be here, and thank you for that great introduction. I'm excited to be a part of CA Short. Scott and I actually met about 7 years ago. Is that right, Scott?
I'm going on 8.
Going on 8. Oh, my word. Yeah. And then from there, I think about a year after that, I was giving a workshop at an international conference in Fort Lauderdale, and I met then CEO, owner of the company, and some of the other executives, and just really had this symbiotic, synergistic bonding happening. And so through the years, we've kept in touch and done a little bit of contract work with CA Short, and always this hope and behind the scenes hoping for an opportunity for it to turn into something, a collaboration that would be ongoing and full time. And here we are. And I'm so excited about that, to be in the same team with Scott, whom one of the greatest people I've ever met. And then this whole team of CA Short, I cannot express to anyone what an amazing group of people this is. It's truly a family, and everyone is truly all in. And so if anyone is in integrity and personifying and embodying what it is that they're preaching to the rest of the world, it's CA Short. So excited about this.
Hear that. Well, it's true. I mean,
it's amazing.
We
and
drink the Kool-Aid.
That's my personal opinion, but it's also a professional opinion because I'm also a corporate culture coach. So that's what I'm all about. And I specialize in communication, relationships, team building. And this is what I see happening. And is CA Short perfect? No company or corporation is, but their heart is just so perfect. And it's just so team and communicating and being in a relationship and working together. So beautiful, beautiful place to be right now. I am so excited. I hope you can hear and feel my energy. And I'm excited about being able to host this podcast. And I'm most excited because Scott will still be co-hosting quite a bit. And that's a lot of fun for us. We've sung together before, and now we're getting to, host together. Right. So life is good for Cheri.
Let's think about it. We've sang together. We've two-stepped, because that's about the only country dance I can do. And Cheri can do lots of them, by the way, but that's the one I can do. And then now here we're getting to work together. So I am very excited. You wrote some great wellness articles for us a few years back, and you've always had your hand sort of in our space. And so the opportunity to bring you to the team and bring you to our clients, I think was an awesome one. And we're very glad to have you. And I'm excited that you are going to take the podcast in new directions. You're going to do some really great things. I know you're already lining up some wonderful people. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I am very excited, and I will join as much as I can. My role here has changed and evolved over the last few years, and so it doesn't lend me as much time as I used to have. And so I love the fact that you're able to come in and take this thing over, and I'm very excited about where we're going to go with it.
I am too.
And where you're going to take it. Yeah, I'm very excited. Now, tell us, since you might be new to the listener, new to the viewer, tell us just a little bit about you. Let's let them all know kind of where you're from and what you've done in your past and those kinds of things. Let's give them the little bio moment.
Well, in case y'all didn't notice, and by my saying y'all and hey and howdy, that I'm from Texas. And so I actually work most of the time for CA Short in Texas remotely. traveling around for them quite a bit, but I work from my home office most of the time. I am actually in Shelby, North Carolina today for this podcast, and I love being here amongst the people and this sweet energy. I have quite a bit of sales and marketing in my background for various companies, for various types of products and services. And I also have the mental health field in my background. And I have been an entrepreneur for over a decade. And I've already talked about being a corporate culture coach. And also, I'm also a master life coach. And I actually used to certify life coaches and teach their course for certification. So I really believe in what CA Short does in helping companies have employee engagement and build those relationships and helping people to feel important and to know that they're valued and have so that everyone feels like they have an integral part in the team. I always see it as a wheel, like a wagon wheel and all the spokes, and it takes all those spokes being engaged for it to roll smoothly. Or like a bicycle tire, Scott, if it's not fully pumped up, then and the tire's kind of flat, it's going to be kind of a bumpy ride. And so we want everyone to be pumped up and filled up and full, so that they're that our tire is nice and plump and it's traveling smoothly down the road. And so it's really fun to be part of helping this happen and give this gift to other companies now from another angle, getting to have the angle of solutions for helping to engage employees and recognize them and helping to retain your employee. What a huge issue this is right now, is employee retention. And so I'm really excited to get in on this and work with the company, work with our current customers and with our prospects, and really offering these solutions, because it's phenomenal. It's game changing. It raises the bottom line, which is what we know it's all about, right?
Agreed. And I love, actually, your analogy there was great. And I think your history too with mental health is gonna, that's such a big story right now. Bigger than it's ever been, I think, definitely in my lifetime. And we're seeing the implications of mental health and bad mental health, right? Or poor mental health, how it's hitting different industries and what companies are doing now to help employees, because they never used to think that way, right? 5, 6, 7 years ago, wellness started making its way into recognition, and it was all about, keeping the employee healthy, keeping them in the seat. And the focus was never on their mental side, right? And really we all know, the pandemic sort of brought that more to light. And being a big musician and a follower of music, I'm seeing it all over the place, right? I'm seeing, the effects of people canceling their tour for mental health reasons, right? Well, I'm excited. Another good friend of ours and a friend of CA Short is working in that field. And we're definitely going to have to get her on the show later this season and just talk about what she's doing. So Melinda Doolittle, our good friend, American Idol, and our ambassador of appreciation, is launching her own mental health awareness business, and will work directly in the music industry. And she's already working with some very big names. And I just kept trying to think, well, how do you help and what do you do there? And it's exciting to hear what she's doing. So I'm excited. We'll have to get her on the show later too, because I think that you'll love that conversation between the two of you. Will be fantastic. So,
well, the three of us have already started that conversation, and Melinda is amazing. And so I'm really excited about what she's doing because of what is happening to people now. And it's just, I'm very compassionate, and it breaks my heart. And then having that in my history, working in a mental health clinic for a while and being a psychiatric rehab specialist, it's hard. It's hard to be that person. And it's just as hard or even harder in some ways to be the support community of that person. And it's just hard for everybody. And it's just heartbreaking. So I'm so excited about what she's doing. It's so meaningful. And so, yes, we are having her on the show this season, the 2023-2024 season. And I've got her book to read through and take notes in and get prepared for that. Wonderful. I'm really excited to have her. It's so important.
Well, and I think one of the greatest things a company can do to help show support to that employee, support to all their employees, again, is have a great engagement and recognition program. Because an employee who may, and this goes along with my personal brand, really, when I've told people, the thank you that you say today may be the only one that person hears. And we always like to believe that life is grand and wonderful and blah, 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 like I say. But the truth is there are, the experience for some people is not so great. And work may be the only positive thing they have. So make it as positive as it possibly can be. And you are spreading the joy down through cascading the joy. That's what we need to do, right?
And there's ways to do that, Scott, too. We do have scheduled for this season coming up very soon, Yasmin Mustafa, who advocates for safety, true physical safety, not from accidents or big equipment, but from being attacked in maybe dark places or like people who work late shifts. And actually, it's almost like a emergency button that you can have available to push to make people aware of where you are and to make sure you're safe walking to your car, she really advocates for women, but really for anyone to feel safe, like that they're not going to be attacked in a dark stairwell, or, she really works on ways to provide safety for those scenarios in the workplace so that people feel valued and like you're looking out for them. That's a huge way to help people know how important they are and how valued they are, is by helping them to feel safe, not from accidents, but from attacks and things out external to the workplace and the work environment, right? But they are in our environment, if you think about the big plants,
it's just a sign of the times we live in. And so sadly, you've got to put focus into that space. And so, I'm excited. I'm excited about this season. And I think we've got some great topics we're going to kick off today. In fact, we're going to dive into a few great topics.
Well, and what do you got
first for us? It's your show now. What do you got first for us?
Well, okay, so we're for our own well-being. I don't know about you guys, but for my own well-being, I often, I'll see some of these life hacks in different areas of life, think I want to try. And so, Scott, I have tried something that does work at this hack. It's a really simple thing. I love fruit and I love strawberries. And I found that, how, they go to so bad so quickly in your refrigerator, no matter what you seem to do. Well, guess what? If you wash them off and get them really dry and put them in a jar, like a glass mason jar, and seal it well, they stay great for weeks. Literally weeks. And I've never seen fruit last that long. And actually, I've tried some other things too. So it can't just be strawberries. So I tried some other things and it actually does work really well. Have you tried a hack lately, Scott, that it works for you?
Gosh, I was trying to think the last couple of days about some great hack. I'm not a good hack person. I tried to learn from the hack. And so like for me, a good hack would be buy an air fryer. And because you don't have to, which I kind of am doing that. So I have switched from, in my new place, I've now got the Cuisinart air fryer toaster oven thing, which I've never used in my whole life. I've always been that guy that did the just used your oven and stuff. And I like to cook. I mean, everybody knows I like to cook when I can. So I actually am trying that out right now, to tell you the truth, to see how my new place, I've rarely had to use the oven. I've been using this awesome Cuisinart I got through our program, and made my first pizza flatbread with it. It turned out pretty decent. I don't know that I cooked it long enough, so I got to try that again. And I did some toast in there, and I did some crab cakes so far. And I never had to actually heat the apartment up with the oven. So that to me was a great hack. That's a good one for me. That's a good one for me. But we got to I love this topic, and I think this will be a great one to get from our employees here, even to share out.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get some good life hacks, because I would love to, Lauren probably knows a good few, but I'm pretty terrible with like life hacks. So usually nothing works for me. That's what happens, is it might be the perfect hack for somebody, and then I go to use it and can't figure it out. So I like that one though. That strawberry one I'll have to try. I need one for bananas. Bananas are the worst for me, but I wonder why the glass jar instead of like a Tupperware. I wonder what that's about. So if
somebody wants to do the research on that, let us know. Get back to us and let us know, because I haven't taken time, right?
We need a scientist on call. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need an
our lifeline to the scientist.
Now, have you had a hack that has failed? Is there one that you know that's not?
Okay, you guys, this is, I have you lash lovers, meaning eyelash lovers. I thought, okay, I want to be able to wake up looking great and not spend so much time trying to put mascara on in the mornings and then making bags under my eyes by rubbing it off at night, especially because I wear waterproof because I'm such an emotional person. So I tried eyelash extensions and I got them and my eyes itched like nobody's business for 2 weeks. It was driving me insane until they were literally all gone because I guess in my sleep, I rubbed them off. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go back. We're going to start the new season of the podcast. So I just went 2 days ago, a day before I had to leave Texas to come to North Carolina, and got lashes again. And with sensitive glue for sensitive people, guess what? It is worse than the non-sensitive. Not only are they itching and driving me crazy right now, but now I've got my eyelids are red and my right eyelid. You've heard of duck lips or bee stung look lips, right? The bee stung look on your lips. Well, I've got a bee stung look eyelid. It is puffed. I don't know if y'all can see it. My right eyelid is really puffed up. And it's very uncomfortable. And I'm like, and I can't do anything about it because I'm out of town. Yeah. So I've got to wait till I get back to Texas.
I'm pretty sure that won't be a problem that I have. But I'll let you know if that day ever comes and I need to try your hack. Yeah, that's pretty scary. I mean, a lot of people have those extension things, but I mean, I guess you're just sensitive to the glue. Yeah.
My daughter-in-law has worn them for years, no problems, but she knows a lot of people who have the same problem I do. So I get to go home and have them taken off and make sure I get all the glue off, and I'll have to just do things the old-fashioned way. So
the old-fashioned way. Well,
that's right.
That actually leads me to something, because maybe you need permanent lash extensions for the holiday or something of that nature, as we lean into talking a little bit about holiday today. I think we're going to, people think it's far off, but, I hate to tell people and be that person, but holidays are literally around the corner. Like once you get to the end of summer, you're literally looking forward. I know here at CA Short, I help manage our culture team. And we already have the plans for Thanksgiving and for Christmas and for the New Year and for the stuff. And like, we're already there. And from a CA Short perspective, we holidays a big piece of what we do. But I think today you brought some things to the table that we were going to talk about a little bit about some holiday programs and what corporate gifting and what it's kind of looking like today. And what are some of the thoughts out there?
Well, everybody's always trying to hack the gift giving, right? Whether it's personal, personal or business, right? And it's really all the same. The corporate gift giving and personal gift giving, it's pretty much all the same. It's trying to really come up with that gift that the recipient's going to love, and that's going to make them feel good, and it's just going to hit that spot. But Scott, we've got some articles here that tell us. We've got some from 21 and 22. We don't have any for 23 yet, of course, but that in the corporate world, gift giving to the employees it's a huge thing. And there's a snappy research put out by Business Wire that says 6 in 10 employees say meaningful holiday gifts from their employer are more likely to keep them in their jobs. 72% said they didn't receive a holiday gift from their employer last year. A full third say they never have received a gift. And this reveals a big opportunity for employers to improve engagement and loyalty amongst their teams. Let's see, there's other statistics talking about the retention. 75% of respondents, this is from another study that was put out by Business Wire, but it's research by Tremendous. It says 75% of respondents said receiving a holiday gift from their employer increased their job satisfaction, and 46% said this boost lasts for 1 year or more. 1 year or more. And 66% say that a $50 to $100 gift range is appropriate in this poll. Okay.
I'm with you on this because when I think about my own experience in history, a good, one company I worked for a long time did not celebrate the holiday this very much. We did not. I did not receive something. And other companies, smaller businesses I've worked for, traditionally I have, right? And I am very grateful and appreciative for that. And our history at CA Short, we were once the holiday was what drove the business. The stories that I wasn't here for that, and there are some employees that are, but the stories I used to hear was that we ran 24/7 and we had 700 people working, and it was just packing up trucks to ship all over the country. And then over time, there are some positives to what I would call sort of diversity, equity, inclusion. That has had an effect on what holiday looks like in a company sometimes, because what I found is that some companies, rather than attempting to recognize the holiday season wholly, just didn't do it at all, right? And because of, rather than I'm going to represent all these different groups, I'm just not going to do anything. And that's sad to me a little bit, because I truly feel strongly that the holiday time it's just a great season of giving and one to rejoice in. And I think from a corporate level, it's another way, again, you don't buy engagement, but what you do is you hint toward a longer term relationship with that employee. And people feel proud and they feel appreciated, right? Yeah. And so I agree. I mean, I think the opportunity is there. I think we saw a return definitely over the last few years. Holiday has even increased for us. And I think part of that came out of the pandemic as well, when they needed to do things and they did it. And now some of them are keeping that moving forward. And I think it's the right way to go. I think it brings heart to the business and recognizes the season and the time, right? Because I'll share this with you, and I won't say what company this was, but there was a company I worked for, and this really can show you how things are, that in the retail brand of that company, all the signage would say Merry Christmas, buy this for Christmas, Merry Christmas. But on the back end of the company, in operations and in their call centers and such, we were never allowed to do that. So we could not even say Merry Christmas. It was far more inclusive of the population working. So when you see that kind of thing, sometimes I look at it and think, I don't like that, because you're just sending one message to the people to sell a product and another message internally. I love to see a company truly represent who they are and the people that work for them. And I think the holiday season is just a great time. We celebrate big here. We do lots of different things here. Just sharing a little bit of what we do at CA Short. We share. So we have a holiday gift for our employees. We have holiday points for our employees because we use our points program. We do a gift basket silent auction kind of thing for all the teams here. Put together a gift basket, and we auction those off for charity. And we support an angel tree system here as well. So we dive into the holiday season, and we're respectful of all the different and diverse holidays there can be. We don't leave anybody out. We just allow them to celebrate with all the other folks we have for the different times that we have. So, there is some talk, and I know I read one of these articles, and of course, let's point out the truths to this. So there's an article created by a company who is basically a payment system. And of course, they recommend giving them money. And well, of course they do. They're a payment system, right? That's what makes sense. However, I'm not a fan in that space, and nor am I in recognition world when it comes to money anyway, because the problem with that is, if you constantly are giving employees cash or a cash equivalent outside of their paycheck, they start to expect that. That becomes part of their compensation and is no longer part of their recognition. And I know that internally a person will sit there and say all day long, and I've seen this, it doesn't matter what survey you send, what questions you ask. If you ask someone if they want more money, they're always going to say yes. No one ever says no, right? However, science tells us that on the backside of that, that's just not always truly the case. That a person, and I love, there's some great studies out there. I even talk about them in a couple of my talks about, it's like eye dilation studies. So it really tells you, like, you know, they show pictures of money and pictures of places and pictures of products, and they look to see how a person's eye dilates, what truly interests that person. And money is never the one. And so even though the person will say it all day long, in their heart of hearts, there are other things that would truly drive them to higher performance and drive them to higher engagement. And so I think balance as a company is the important piece. I think that's why we do both. We do an item for our employees. I'm very excited about this year's item, by the way. And then we also do the points, because the points that will spend like money and allow them to get something, or to get something for their kids or their family. We kind of touch on both, but I'm very careful that we don't lean into just one direction.
Scott, there's some people who truly don't know about the points. So could you give just a quick overview about what a points program looks like?
Sure.
So that they all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and sure. And actually, you know, with holiday programs here at CA Short, you can do them several different ways. And so I love that. But if you're a company or one of our clients or a company out there today that has just a regular points program, which means you're giving away points for performance or points for recognition, you know, just giving away points at the holiday is a great way to celebrate that, right? Like I said, we do that as an equivalent here. Everybody gets an e-card and they get automatic points added to that. We can do that all day long with a points program. So anybody that's got a points program with us, we can do that with. And if you don't have one with us and want to come over and get one with us, we'll be glad to show you that too. So that's one way of having a great holiday program. So
well, what do they do with the point?
Well, you spend them like money. And so you'll spend them within our platform on products or on travel or on experiences. That's the gift of choice is what I love to call it. So you really are giving that person the ability to then go get something for themselves that they want, or they can buy something for someone else and pass that engagement on, right? That's one way to have a holiday program, but it's not the only way to have holiday programs. So you could currently be a non-client or a client of CA Short. You don't even have to be a regular client of us just to have us run your holiday program. And so in that, you have multiple options. So one of them, Cheri, I love is that you can just have a card made where everybody gets a card with a code and they go type in the code into the platform, and they then get a selection of things to choose from that you've curated. Right? You as the client have talked to our team. You've curated what those items are going to be, what that level's going to be per se. I like that because you can do that as an online catalog and give all your employees different options. It's very simple. We then can either ship the item directly to the employee, or we can have items shipped to your location that you are then handing out and making a more personal a piece of that, right?
So and the selection of gifts, there's a particular value. So a company creates the budget that they want per person.
Correct.
And then they have a selection of gifts that all are equal in value. Let's just pretend they're doing $100 to everybody. Yeah. Then every gift that is in the selection is worth $100. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah,
so then the business knows exactly how much they're spending, right?
It's not completely controlled for the budget. Yeah, that's one nice thing about holiday is you can completely control your budget. And it doesn't take us very long to set those up. We have some great models there. But the thing for people to know is now's the time to think about it. It's not in October, November. You've waited too late. From a corporate perspective, you have to start in August, September, early October just to be able to pull it off, because depending upon the size of your company, you got to make sure you've got everything available to you, right? And all your options there. And do you want all those items to arrive before the holiday? Do you want them after the holiday? Are you going to give them out on the holiday? Are you going to give them out? How are you doing it? We can support every single one of those. Our history is like I was saying earlier, our history is far reaching when it comes to holiday. And so there are just some really great ideas, even if you're just going to give, the other idea in there is you're going to give the employees all the same thing, right? Which is something that is still done today as well. We do that. So whether it's clothing or apparel, or maybe it's a beautiful ornament, and you're just going to have that all set up for all of your employees, we take all of that weight off of the client, of the admin or the person running the program. Our goal is to make it seamless for them, super easy for them, and that they're not sitting there going through catalog after catalog, trying to order, trying to match things up. We do all that work. That's what you're paying us for. So we have some really great options. And I just think that, now's the time. Now's the time. If you're gonna go back to holiday and continue holiday, first of all, I hope you continue it. If you're doing it today, please keep doing it. And if you're not doing it today, I think you should consider it and bring it back to the table. And don't stress over, like I was saying earlier, don't stress all the initiatives and things your company has going on. Just make sure that you're representing the holiday season, period. And it doesn't have to just be one holiday. It doesn't have to just be one. Your event or your program can be a great representation of the season as a whole.
And a lot of people just call it end of year, end of year celebration and appreciation or whatever they're calling. But why is it important for corporations to do this, or any size company? There's a Forbes article that tells us that giving, well thought through gifts, things that can be customized or personalized or specific to a person, like we've been talking about those options to do that 45% of the recipients reported feeling valued, and 43% had improved customer loyalty. Your customer is affected by how your employees are feeling, how valued they're feeling. Your customers are going to convey whatever it is that you're channeling through them, right? And then finally, employee retention. It was shown to increase by 41%. 41%.
That's huge.
For these companies that are gift givers.
That's huge.
Thoughtful gift giving, not just cash, not just blender for everybody, that really created options that were a fit to each person. So it's just so important. And retention, it's on the news, it's everywhere. Retention is the thing these days. So this is a fantastic way to take advantage of valuing your employees, and you still have time. It's only September. You do have time, but you have to get on it now. If you wait, you're going to have to wait till next year, and you've lost a whole year, and it's a lot of money. There's lots of studies on that about how much the bottom line is affected by employees feeling disengaged and not valued. So let's do it.
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. And just, know that the reason you start early is because you then have the power of choice as well. The longer you wait, the less your options become.
Yeah, so, the fewer your options for what you can do for your
exactly. And I think everything we can do today to retain an employee is what we should be doing as a company. In the end, that to your point, that bottom line increases greatly if you can just retain the people you have, and they're the right people in the right role.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to circle this back around to when engaged employees are, let's just use a loose term, happier. You can interpret that however you want, but maybe more satisfied or content in life. Basically, you're improving their family life. And when you have employees that can go home that aren't grumbling and that hated being at work all day, but feel valued from work, so they're glad to have been there, that affects their family. That affects their friends. I mean, that affects the people who know the family. It just circles out as this wonderful ripple effect. And so basically it circles back around to, it's really better mental health for everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Well, the other thing I like too in the holiday program, you can even make it where it's family oriented, so that like if you have a printed catalog or something, you can take home or you log in at home and you let the family choose what that gift is, right? Maybe it's that moment. You as an earner are earning all year long for yourself, but you take that one moment and you go get something for the family or something that, or maybe you're getting a gift. I tell people here a lot with points programs. I'm like, you get to a point sometimes you don't know what to get. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, you have two kids. You start with your points for holiday, before you go spend your hard-earned cash. I mean, try to do the things with the points you earn in any recognition program you have. Use those to supplement that. And so get things you might not always buy, or things you don't want to spend cash on, or things that if it can just help you, you can get some toys for the kids. Then go and buy the rest of your holiday gifts, right?
Well, so we're promoting good financial health for people too.
Good
really
financial
helping
health.
them to have
That's
better
it.
financial
I love
health.
how you find new ways to promote what I have to say. Yes, Scott's promoting. That's it.
Health
Good
and well-being
financial
is,
health.
all
That's
encompassing, right?
Well, listen, this season, you're going to be touching on so many different subjects. I'm going to get to join for everything that I can. But like you've talked about it, mental health, I think financial awareness. I'm very excited about a guest that we'll have. We haven't got them booked yet, but a very high up person with diversity, equity, and inclusion is going to be a guest with us. And we're going to talk about the challenges in their industry today, because we all know that there's some challenge to what's going on with diversity, equity, and inclusion in our country. And I really am excited to talk about that as well. Yeah. But I see we've got another great guest who's just popped into the show.
Stopping by.
It's Addie Hutchins, ladies and gentlemen.
We're so excited. Addie's a wonderful addition to the CA Short family, and I personally just think she's dynamite. She's just over the moon. I love her so much. She's so brilliant, and she's funny, and she's so willing to be helpful, and she's just a bright spot. And so I'm really excited to have her pop in to give us a quick little teaser about this new app that CA Short is putting out. Tell us about this, Addie. What's it called and what's up with it?
I'm really excited about the app that's coming out. It's taking our whole platform and putting it's cleaner version. It's easier to navigate. We have a UX designer, and he's really been focusing on the purpose of the app, the easier ways to navigate around it, and how to easily connect and promote your coworkers.
Cool. And now, Addie, you're a product manager. What does that mean to the outside world? What does that mean for real?
So my job is I take an idea, something that sometimes comes from sales or sometimes it comes from the stakeholders, and I take that idea and then I research and get the departments involved that can make this idea come to life. And so it always involves IT, but sometimes it might involve finance, and I get all those moving pieces together and make sure that all the pieces are working. So instead of managing people, I manage product. So I just make sure that goes from idea all the way to the live environment.
That's super cool. And this week, you're launching a new functionality for CA Short. I believe it's this week. It might be in the next week or two. But anyway,
it's this afternoon.
Okay.
This afternoon.
So you're launching some great new functionality. Tell us about it. What's coming up?
Yeah, so back in February, the sales team came to me and they wanted a way that a person could quickly amplify somebody else. Right now, our only way to recognize a colleague with points is to send an e-card. And they wanted a quicker way to recognize a colleague. So one of the definitions when we were researching this for Amplify means to enlarge or add detail. And I think that in our industry, it's so important to acknowledge even the smallest detail. So Amplify is going to extend that opportunity. Within the rec room, as you're scrolling the rec room, you can click Amplify and amplify a post or a person within the post with just a few clicks. And so I wrote some notes here, so I want to make sure I didn't forget.
That's all right. Good.
Okay. So at the recent IMA conference, the common theme was to be conscious of even the smallest impact and recognize the smallest contributor. So giving our platform participants the opportunity to contribute to the conversation or to publicly recognize a peer is the first step to having more involved participants. So it publicly shows the connections that have been weaved throughout the organization with people who don't interact daily. So I think that's really cool for two departments, two people. The only way they actually see and talk to each other is through the rec room. And so sometimes it's going to be really cool to see like, oh, this department, amplified this person. I didn't even know they knew each other. So it's, yeah. And so we've also thought about how intimidating it can be to be a new hire. So if you don't know a person, sending an e-card with a really personalized message and points can make someone a little anxious. So this way, with just a few clicks, Amplify allows that newcomer to have an impact and support their colleague without having to create an e-card.
I love it.
And I'm excited about that. And I'm a new hire, so I'm seeing this from all the sides, right? But what I am wondering is, can you fill in the blank a little bit about, you're talking about a rec room and a platform. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means? Like some people don't have what we have.
Sure. So a rec room is just a place where everybody can contribute. And recently we've seen, first day of school pictures and just a way for people to connect with inside the company.
So like just social media.
Yeah, it's kind of like social media. I hate to compare it to other social media apps because we're our own thing, but it's the same concept that people can post different things on this public forum. And so with that, some people, though, have treated the rec room like the daily company newspaper, which is really cool. And they have really built connections through that. So that allows you to go through and say, oh my gosh, her little daughter started school. That's so cool. Here's a quick high five. Let me amplify this post with some points. I didn't want to send an e-card that said, congratulations on your daughter's first day of school. That's a little awkward. I'm not even sure we have an e-card for that. So this way I can just quickly, as I'm scrolling my morning company paper, I can contribute to the post and to the people as I go through the list.
Cool. And how does, if you're a client of ours today, how do you get that functionality?
Yeah, so Amplify can be turned on and off, so it's up to the client. We actually have, we've made it more granular, so it can be just a manager feature, or it can be a regular participant feature, or it can be both. So you can turn it on for just managers where they can amplify people throughout the company, or you can turn it on for everyone if they have peer-to-peer points and recognize anybody.
I love that. And if you're not a client, call us and find out what it is. And we would love for you to do that as well. And if you are a client, we're very excited to roll this out. We'd love to show it to you, to give you an opportunity to check it out for yourself. But I love the concept. To your point, it's not always, it's a little awkward sometimes to send some. I'll give you an example. So a lot of times I send a new hire. I might send a little e-card or something to a new hire, but sometimes I feel like I don't know this person yet.
Right.
They don't know who I am. But if the post was there and this is the new hire, I could quickly go, hey, I'm going to give them 500 points to make them feel good today and just knock it out. And they don't have to I don't have to get in depth until I've met that person or something. So
right.
I like it.
And sometimes I'll walk down the hallway and there's still people that I see and I'm 9 months in now and I'm like, who is that person? So I'm always like, hi. And so it's a way I can go like, hi, online and publicly.
I love
so everyone can see that I said hello to this person. And it really allows to foster connections in departments that really, really wouldn't work together. And I do want to mention what's really cool about Amplify is that there are minimum and maximum points that have to be set for Amplify. So you can do it as low as 1 point to 10 points. So it doesn't have to be someone's entire bucket of points. If it takes a while to accrue,
right. So there's some controls built in. Right.
Yeah, there's definitely some controls, but it can be as little as the point can be from 1 to 5. So it's just a little high five here and there. It doesn't have to be 100 points or set limits of points like that. You can choose the minimum and the maximum.
Well, I like it, and I know it's just one thing you're working on. You've got your hands in many, many things. So I'm sure Cheri will be bringing you back all the time to talk about new things.
I'm fascinated with what, the things that, when people have suggestions, I'm full of ideas, right? But I'm clueless as to what goes on behind the scenes to make those happen. And it was really fun for me to get to sit, in on a meeting to hear all the ideas, and not ideas, but the pieces, like these little minute things that have to not only work singularly, but then corporately, collectively, together and be synchronized. It's just mind-boggling and it's just fascinating. So I appreciate so much what you're doing, Addie. So thank you for what you do. And I just want to clue you in. Rec Room stands for recognition room within a platform that we call People Are Everything. And if you're not a client, call and ask us about it, or reach out on the internet. Or if you are a client that is not using the platform yet, ask us about it. You really want to. This opens up unlimited possibilities on how you can choose to recognize your company as a whole. You can recognize departments, you can recognize managers, you can recognize our day-to-day workers who are just in there in the grunt with the grind, and every type of position has opportunity to be recognized in a way that is meaningful to them, and it's meaningful to you because it lands, it hits the mark and helps you engage your employees, and that's what you're all looking for, right? You're going to retain them that way. So I love this. And so Addie, you're driving that. All those things I just said, like, you are an integral part, and it's really fun. So the Rec Room, the platform, is all about this, like saying things. I'm very comfortable telling people how much I appreciate what they have to offer, even if I don't know them. And so Addie, I love this. Like, this is an opportunity for everyone to be told how valuable they are in our system, and the wagon wheel we were talking about earlier, Scott, and keeping it pumped up and working fully so that we roll smoothly as a team. We talked about a wagon wheel and all the spokes, and all the spokes are necessary. And so it just gives everybody that equal opportunity to really fully be acknowledged, recognize, acknowledge, and embrace the importance of their part in the whole and rolling smoothly. So thank you, Addie. So excited you're here today. You're so kind to drop by, and can't wait to see what you're working on next. I don't know, you guys. Let's got any hints for anything in the future, or is it all top secret still?
Well, I have a running list. But I think it's important to note that this information came from our customers. We're listening to our customers, figuring out what they want. It's my job to take their idea and then make it happen. They don't know everything that's involved in creating something, so that's my job. And so, we have a running list of features, and I have 7 on my board that as soon as one gets knocked off, one gets put on. So it's a never-ending process.
Awesome.
And it's fun. Isn't it fun to give people what they want?
It's very exciting to see where you take everything. You've been a great asset, and we're very happy to have you. So
so you guys, we're kind of coming
this is on record, so this is the only time I'm going to say it. So you better take it.
Do it again. Say it without me interrupting.
I know. No, you did great. And I think, you know what, Cheri, I think that we're about to wrap this first episode of the new season. And, this is going to be yours. So I'm going to let you kind of close us out the way you're going to close us out moving forward. So that's you.
Oh, my goodness. I am just so happy to be here. And I thank you for joining us. And I hope that you will continue to listen on every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. We will have things to bring to you as we give generously to you. We hope that you receive and turn around and give generously to those that are in your life at home and at work. And, everybody's bottom line of engagement and feeling valued has risen each time. That's my goal. So, Addie, thanks for being part of that. Scott, thank you so much for getting us to this point, and I look forward to what's to come. So excited to be with you twice a month, and hopefully we're going to make that 4 times a month. Okay. So, love you guys.